Breaking news, folks. Italian-talking penis launches pod across world and announces plan to save democracy with George Clooney's tasty little penis. I don't know about you folks, but I gotta believe Brad Pitt and friends are gonna have some fun with this one. And now, let us introduce to you the Little Penis That Could podcast and cartoon series. Bon appetito, my friends. All the characters are from my dreams and should not be viewed by anyone.
Hello from outer space.
Buongiorno. My name is Dr. Gino Bartali.
You want to explain yourself?
I'm the host of the new podcast and the cartoon series, The Little Peanuts That Could. Our shows will address, in many unconventional and humorous ways, the full magnitude of the issues facing us all across the world today. We will do this while providing hope, humor, and humble, aspirational ways in which democracy can be promoted and grown worldwide. In other words, we will attempt to save world democracy, establish the world's first international online nation, the Ion Nation, and we hope to accomplish all of this by getting you to join us in pranking Gorgeous George Clooney's into selling his tasty little peanuts to save world democracies.
It's a chancy job, and it makes a man watchful and a little lonely.
But wait, there is more. We will set the tone on how to save democracies. This will be accomplished by embracing the power of a funk.
Man, I really dig that acid rock.
My name is Dr. Gino Bartali, and we at The Little Peanuts That Could are asking you to join us as we attempt to funk up democracies.
There's something to be said for a deviant lifestyle.
Ciao, Bella. Wow, folks. This sounds kind of fun. Before we get serious with our introduction to Maharishi Matthew from the Church of the Untethered and Tasty Peanuts, here's a word from our proposed sponsor, Gorgeous George's Intercontinentally Ballistic and Hypersonic, audaciously tasty, juicy, and nutritious little peanuts of positivities.
Buongiorno. I am Dr. Gino Bartali, also known as the Italian Peanuts Shaft. Today's show is brought to you by our proposed founding sponsor, Gorgeous George Clooney's Intercontinentally Ballistic and Hypersonic, audaciously tasty, juicy, and nutritious little peanuts of positivities. Folks, we live in some crazy times. Perhaps you're in the military, anywhere in the world, feeling more confused than a fart in a fan factory, as the former Commander-in-Chief and the Republican Party of America refuse to return or explain the theft of the most important and classified top-secret materials in the free world. As they do this, they are placing your life and the future lives of your families and the citizens of the free world at risk. We know you're depressed, as the supposed champions of our militaries and democracy abandon both. If watching, 35% of America and Americans turned their backs on our own militaries and on democracy. If this has you confused and depressed, all you need to do is simply pop Gorgeous George's Intercontinentally Ballistic and Hypersonic, audaciously tasty, juicy, and nutritious little peanuts of positivities into your mouth. And in moments, seconds even, waves of positivities will be coming all over you. Simply visit thelittlepenisthatcould.com and register to become one of the early birds, hoping to get your hands on Gorgeous George's audaciously tasty, juicy, and nutritious little peanuts of positivities once we have completed our prank. Now remember, if we succeed, 100% of profits from his tasty little peanuts will benefit charities and causes that you help choose. P.S. If you have questions about this prank, we urge you to imagine the words that the John F. Kennedy would say to Gorgeous George Clooney if he were alive today. Ask not what the world and your nation can do for your tasty little peanuts, but rather ask what your tasty little peanuts can do for the free world and your nation. Stay hungry, my friends, and share the peanuts. Ciao, Bella.
Mamma mia! I don't know about you, but I cannot wait to get my hands on George's tasty little peanuts. We hope that you will all join us in our prank. But before that, let's take a few minutes to get serious about democracy, get inspired by Maharishi Matthew from the Church of the Untethered and Tasty Peanuts, and then finally, to take a few seconds and relax to the Tasty Peanuts mantra. We hope you enjoy.
Tasty peanuts. Yum. Tasty peanuts. My God, that was amazing. I don't know about you, but I cannot wait to get my hands on Gorgeous George Clooney's audaciously tasty, juicy, and nutritious little peanuts of positivities. Now, before I read my letter to Gorgeous George Clooney's, I must tell you about the Little Peanuts That Could podcast and cartoon series, where we are pranking Gorgeous George Clooney's so as to embrace the teachings of famed futurist Buckminster Fuller, who said, "Dare to be naive. We are intended to be architects of the future and not its victims." He also said, "Do not fight forces. Use them. You never change things by fighting the existing realities. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete." At the Little Peanuts That Could podcast and a cartoon series, we hope that by executing the world's greatest prank upon the world's former greatest prankster, we hope that lovers of democracy from all across the world will help us answer this question: What are all of the new models of democracy that we can build so as to make the corrupted existing models obsolete? Please visit the Little Penis That Could podcast and a cartoon series. Consider some swag, like our Tasty Peanuts t-shirt, or possibly become a patron at our Patreon account. But most important, possibly consider becoming a citizen of the Ion Peanuts Nation. Ciao, Bella.
At the Little Penis That Could, the podcast and the cartoon series, we have a special person with a special message for all of us. We are so proud to introduce to you Maharishi Matthew from the Church of the Untethered and the Tasty Peanuts. Buon appetito, my friends.
Take a deep breath. Relax. Close your eyes. Ask yourself this question. If a business no longer requires brick and mortar, does a nation require land and borders? This world, we're all in it together. It's about taking care of ourselves in ways that also takes care of others. Buckminster Fuller said, "Dare to be naive. We are intended to be architects of the future, not its victims." He also said, "Don't fight forces. Use them. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete." If the youth of the world demand and deserve their turn, could an online nation of millions alter the trajectory of humanity? What if I told you how to do it? How to create this online nation? So, I ask you again, does a nation require land and borders? If not, what the fuck are we waiting for? What are we waiting for?
Can I just say that every time I hear Maharishi Matthew, I feel a real sense of possibilities for the world's youth, women, and the people of color. Next, I have a little shout out to one of my favorite pods in the world, Pod Save America, which will be followed by my message and personal letter to gorgeous George Clooney's. I hope you enjoy. I would like to share a little love with the guys over at the Pod to Save America. Look, in these crazy times, when you need truth, in-depth analysis, and understandings, if you fully comprehend how important it is for truths to be expressed directly, but in a spirit of coopulations, you need to let the Pod to Save America have their pod come into your ears. Look, they have a pod that not only stands tall, theirs is a pod that you can really sink your teeth into. But wait, there's more. I know what you're thinking. Every fucking time you turn around, some on a bitch wants to have their pod coming into your ears. And then you're sitting there, and all of a sudden you realize you're driving down the road with this limp, flaccid pod coming into your ears. You start looking around, wonder if anyone sees you. Now, I've been there, driving down the road, about to fucking crash, trying to get a fucking flaccid pod to stop coming into my ears. But folks, that won't happen with their pod. No, Pod to Save America is no flaccid pod, folks. And I recommend after our show, of course. I would like you to head on over there or maybe send them an email with the word peanuts in the subject line. And I hear they have a whole big quiver of crooked pods over there. Anyways, visit Pod Save America and the Crooked Media and let them know that we at the Little Penis That Could, the podcast and the cartoon series, we think they do one hell of a job with their pod.
Buongiorno. My name is Dr. Gino Bartali, also known as the Italian Penis. Shaft. On our shows, the Little Penis That Could, the podcast and the cartoon series, we are attempting to prank the former world's greatest prankster, Gorgeous George Clooney. We intend to prank Mr. Gorgeous into selling his tasty little peanuts for charities. In fact, we, especially my friend Brad and I, we believe that when you help us prank him, Gorgeous George Clooney's will win both the Nobel Peace Prize and the Nobel Prize in Economics. All because he got pranked into selling his audaciously tasty, juicy, and nutritious little peanuts of positivities for charity and to save world democracies. My good friend Brad told me that Gorgeous George Clooney has a fetish for handwritten letters. Dear Mr. Gorgeous, I have handwritten this following letter just for you. Now, before you make a decision, you should know that my friend Brad and I, we have done extensive taste testings and pollings with your audaciously tasty little peanuts. Brad thought that I should read to you this letter from Virginia, who lives in Virginia. Buon appetito, Mr. Clooney's. Virginia wrote, Dear Dr. Gino Bartali, I have been so worried about the coming elections, inflation and housing costs, racisms, and the screaming Cheeto, along with the anti-democracy Republicans and the anti-voting GOP. I have been so worried about them stealing voting and other rights from my black, brown, and other friends. I have been so worried that I am very, very tense, and I sweat profusely all the time. That was, Dr. Gino, until I was introduced to Gorgeous George's audaciously tasty, juicy, and nutritious little peanuts of positivities. Dr. Gino, the moment that I popped Gorgeous George's little peanuts into my mouth, in less than a minute, maybe even just seconds, waves of positivities were coming all over me. Dr. Gino, please convince Gorgeous George to sell his tasty little peanuts for charities and to save world democracy, and let him know that if he does this, it will relax and eliminate the dampness in Virginias and others like me all across the world. Yours truly, Virginia from Virginia. I would like to respectfully request that you agree to sell your tasty little peanuts for charities, so that all of the soggy and damp Virginias and others of the world can become more dehydrated. In closing, Mr. Gorgeous, I am compelled to tell you what I believe Paul Newman, the founder of Newman's Own not-for-profit foods, would say to you if he were alive today. Mr. Clooney, ask not what your country and the world can do for your tasty little peanuts, but rather ask what your tasty, juicy, and nutritious little peanuts can do for your country and the world. I think we can all agree that we look forward to your public announcement. And who knows, maybe Brad Pitt will become the official spokesmodel for Gorgeous George's intercontinentally ballistic and hypersonic, audaciously tasty, juicy, and nutritious little peanuts of positivities. Stay hungry, my friend, and share the peanuts. Ciao, Bella.
Before we close out the show, let's meet the great team at the Little Peanuts That Could as they share some thoughts with you. They're learning just like me as we keep going, and if you support us, they benefit first. Here they are.
Hello, my name is Musoke, and I started working with the Little Peanuts That Could early last year as an editor and researcher until we had to put a pause on my contract for a while. Well, a couple of months ago, I reached out to Dr. Gino to see where everything was, and it was the perfect timing for me and my skill set. I gotta say, I see the vision and I do see the long-term goals for this podcast, and I'm all for it, especially being a black woman from Africa. I don't know about y'all, but I want to be among the first people to taste these gorgeous George Clooney tasty peanuts. Besides this little peanut, I'm getting paid, but that's a story for another sweet day. Plus, oh my god, could you guys in the US get your shit together so that Ted Cruz can stay away from my vagina? I didn't mean to shout, but ciao, Bella.
Hey there, this is Steve. I'm from Bangladesh. I know Dr. Gino for at least 5 to 6 years now. He's a good and honest man. He's sometimes crazy, doesn't know what he wants. But one thing we both always wanted is to do something good for the humanity. That's why I always supported him and will continue to support him in the future. If you are watching this video, then I tell you to support him too, for the sake of humanity and goodwill. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nazmul and I'm the podcast manager at the Little Peanuts That Could. I've been working for Dr. Gino from the beginning of our show. It's been a crazy experience so far. All of our cartoons have the same common purpose, which is to save democracy in a goofy manner. Once in a while, Dr. Gino will put his nuts out and start talking about democracy, which is funny, and at the same time, I do believe that this might even work. The current status of world democracy needs the people with same interest to merge together and join one single nation, where everybody has the same purpose, and that is to save democracy. So I invite you all to join Ion Nation and subscribe to our pod so Mr. Dr. Gino can pay us better. Ciao, Bella.
Hello, my name is Rudra. I think we should have a borderless world. We should be able to travel wherever we want without having to bound by some Hippocratic laws, bureaucratic hassles, skin color, financial status, or by the location of where I was born. It limits our growth. It's high time to break all those crazy, stupid rules and create global nations which will support our growth and evolve us as the humans what we are supposed to be.
Hello world, I'm Draco. I thought it was my bad that I found a mate. Then I understand his crazy idea and it's freaking me out. I realize his revolutionary idea can change the world and make it better for us. Thanks Dr. Gino. Ciao Bella.
Well, folks, if you made it to the end of that amazing show, imagine what the future holds. Our next show drops Thursday, November 23rd, with a visit by Maharishi Matthew from the Church of the Untethered and the tasty peanuts. This is where we meet in our first ever skit called Between Two Peanuts, our talk show where I, Dr. Gino, talk to various penis heads about how to save democracies as we sit between two peanuts. We will answer lots of questions and address the who, what, when, where, why, and how of establishing ion nations. If you'd like to be a part of our prank, check out our Facebook group, The Little Penis That Could. That's PEANUTS. There you can vote on our Tasty Peanuts spokesmodel contest and support your favorite from choices like Brad Pitt, Julie Roberts, Matt Damon, Tina Fey, Stephen Colbert, and Jimmy Kimmel. If our prank works, you can also register to become a citizen of the Ion Nation at ionation.org. That's ionnation.org. You can catch our podcast at The Little Peanuts That Could on your favorite platforms, and we also have YouTube channel and other things that I, Dr. Gino Bartali, fail to fully comprehend. Our website, thelittlepenisthatcould.com, has all our links, including our Patreon page, and in closing, I would like to ask any one of you losing hope for democracy. I think you should listen to a podcast from Down Under called Who's Gonna Save Us? Episode number 3 is called The Switch, and their podcast digs deep into how democracy is working with community, big and small business, and with government. They are all working well together in the industrial town of Gladstone in Australia, just as democracy requires. To the people of this manufacturing and cold town of Gladstone, I would like to say that you're an inspiration of common sense and community spirit to the world. We wish you all the best in our new green energy world and economy. To my good friend Brad. Brad. Stay hungry, my friend, and share the peanuts. Ciao, Bella.